This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Happy New Year! Happy 2026! Yay! New year. First video of the new year and first video in a very long time. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, because it's been a very long time since I've had you in my home. Whew. So if you have been following me, you know that my last video I was talking about my mom in the summer, how she had a bad fall. Well, I have to say thank you to so many of you who sent me either emails, Facebook comments, Instagram DMs, and if you don't know, my mom had a bad fall at the beginning of summer. Anyways, I just want to report that she is like night and day. Okay, so she fell in July, the beginning of July. It is now January. Literally, I was talking to her last night and she was riding 2K on the stationary bike. My mother is going to be 92 in April. Okay, so yeah, 2K. So she is now in a facility where she's getting twice a day rehab, and I am telling you, she is like herself again. I strongly believe it had a lot to do with all the kind wishes and vibes and prayers and thoughts that you guys sent my mom, the healing vibe. So I have to say thank you for that. Anywho, let's move on to a kiln opening. I had to take a break. My battery, I had to wait and get a new battery and charge it and everything. So I don't know what got missed once the camera shut off. So what's missing? Literally everything at this point. So the entire opening and the very top shelf did not make it in. I was having problems with my camera and I had no idea that it was literally not taking any data. It looked like it was recording, it just wasn't actually putting it on the card. So I don't have the folder to add. Anywho, the glazes and the pieces that were on the top shelf are duplicated throughout, so you will not miss the glaze combo. So hope that helps. That's interesting. Where did those little blobs come from? Because this, okay, so I got this idea from Lisa over at Finkel Pottery. She had done some little old bag, little, you know, for your old tea bag. And I thought, how cute. And I made some for my Christmas markets and wow, they sold. And so I've made more. So I have just used, again, the same clay. This is the Plainsman clay. This is the M350, and that is texture turquoise times 3. I'm not sure where these blobs came from. I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember putting anything over top of it. So I just remember literally doing that. Unless I think I put Celadon Bloom over it. I might have, but even that doesn't quite look like Celadon Bloom. So I may have put something on top. I'm not sure what those little crystals are. Yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a glazing bender, and same clay. And then I've got, this is just Flex Blossom on top of the M350. You gotta love, you know, I love Flex Blossom, I just do. Honey Flux, Flex Blossom, Cirrus Flow, and I did like 2 very kind of heavy coats. I had also, did I put, no, I didn't even bother putting anything in the letters because I was rushing. And this one is, I don't know. I don't know what that one is. I think, I'm gonna say that this one is Shallot, and I think this is Shallot and Pink Pixie. I think. Because I can see some of those little blue dots. I think. Anyways, I think it's Aurora Breeze. Really fun. Try that again. Oh my word, guys. Brain fart. Okay, come on in. Come on in. Let's do this. The garage has gotten a lot cooler now that I waited. Okay, pray to the kiln gods. Pray, pray, pray. Ah, please, 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 please. Ta-da! Oh, everything looks pretty good. Yes. Okay. All right, everything looks good. Everything's looking good. Let's push this back. Okay. Always a bit of relief. When you get to this stage, it's a little bit of relief. I need to go and look, see what this one is. I'll be right. Purple aster. Okay. Whew. Why was that causing me such pain in my brain? Purple aster. So purple aster and a lavender mist, which are both Mayco, and lavender mist is the base of purple aster, but purple aster has these lovely blue flecks. So I kept the purple aster to the edge around the outer portion, and then I just did a very light lavender mist in the center, times like 2. And again, I'm a heavy glazer, so that's quite nice. I think I did like 2 of everything. So, yeah, another one. And it's a great way to test and play with glazes. This is another one of just my Flex Blossom on texture, and it just shows the texture up nicely. So those are super cute. So I have, oh, that turned out pretty good. Yay, y'alls. Okay, so again, I've been playing with this combination here. So that is eggplant, and then it is river birch. So river birch times kind of like, it's 2 here, and then that's like the 3rd coat, and it's like 3 coats of eggplant. Eggplant doesn't move a lot. I think next time if I play with this, I'm gonna do a band of light flux here. I think that would be really nice to help pull that down, but in the meantime, it still actually looks kind of nice. I know I've got another one in here. This is the same combo, but on a garlic keeper. And I just love the way Honey Flux or Flex Blossom actually plays on the slightly darker clay. Get the aluminum hydrate off the back on the darker clay bodies. That red clay, it just gives an interesting, almost like a bluish hue. So I did bring the eggplant down and about halfway down on the inside, and then again 2 coats of the river birch on top, and that's the lid. Same thing on the lid. It's quite nice actually. I think for the purple lovers, so I'm gonna have some purples going on, and that's the lid that goes on top of my little garlic keeper. Super cute. So someone asked me, and I was like, because I'd run out, they'd seen my garlic keepers. Oh, that looks so nice. I love that. Okay, I have used this combination or variation of it, and I just played a little bit more with it. I had to think about that for a second. Okay, so this combo is twilight to somewhere around here, and I do it in a uneven application, and then I went over top with 2 coats of river birch and 1 coat of Flex Blossom, because I wanted a little bit more of that pink in it. And that's what you get. So it's like, you can see like where the Flex Blossom is kind of on its own and thinner on the darker clay. It gives this bluish hue. And then that is just 2 coats of Flex Blossom on the red clay. And the inside is actually the Honey Flux. So that's another one. Something a little more neutral. I think that, yes, you know, pinks and stuff like that in the kitchen are amazing, but they're not for everybody. And let's face it, there's a lot of people that share, oh, that looks so nice. Oh, that did turn out good too. Share kitchens, and not everybody wants pink. So sometimes having a little bit more neutral is a good idea, but I do have a lot of my fun pinks in here too. I think that's what it is. Okay, let's try that again. So texture topaz, you're going to get all that little bit of mottling, which is what's so fun about it. Again, it's on the red clay. I don't think I have any of it on white clay in here. I might, we'll see, but I don't think I did it. And then on the bottom, there's ginger and about from to here. So I put the two together with a band of light flux and a band of honey, a band of light flux and a band of river birch. And I was a bit nervous, and that's why I did put it up on a stilt, because I know that this does move, and I didn't know how much it was going to move also with having light flux and the fact that ginger can move as well. So anyways, this is another lovely, oh, that's really quite pretty. So I'm happy with that. I think that'll get snatched up pretty fast. Another garlic keeper, but that is going to be a regular in my lineup. I do like it. I just got it in a pint for now, and then I might get it in even in a dipping format. This one ran, so this is the same as the other stuff I was doing. So it is on the red clay again. This is kimchi, and then I did a band of shallot in the middle, and then on the bottom it was Louisiana Bayou. So I have a little bit of grinding to do. As you can see, it did run down. Let's get this in focus. There we are. It did run down a little bit far, but that's an easy grinding down to do. So they got a little bit of bread. I gotta sand that slightly. And be sure to stick around, because I'm gonna show you how I finish off these pieces. Not just about the grinding, because I've shown that before, but just how I finish off my bums, just to make them extra smooth. And then that is just a very light coat of honey flux on the inside. Or was it kimchi? No, I want to say it was honey flux. Just very, I think I probably could have done one more, but it's sealed. So again, it's garlic. Garlic's going in there. So that's perfect. Very happy, very happy. I'm getting cold because the heat has waned out of the kiln. Can we talk? Yes. Okay. I know you know I can talk, because yes, I get to edit my video, so I know how much I talk. I don't know about you, but I find the beginning of every new year, I like to reflect on my previous year, thinking about the things that I did well, what I would do differently, my successes, and of course my misses. And yes, you have to do that too. One thing became crystal clear to me, and I'm going to continue well into 2026, and that's making learning new things a priority. In 2025, I was very focused on things that would help level up my skills to help me run my small business. And if you didn't know, pottery is my full-time business. I throw pottery in my home. I film videos and share them with you. I teach pottery at the community center. So it is literally my life. I'm a one-woman show. I'm a solopreneur. This year, not only do I want to do things that help me with my business, but I also want to incorporate things that are going to sort of help me with some of my self-care, work-life balance. I also want to explore some new hobbies and some other creative outlets. Let's face it, you, me, we are creative people, which is why I'm so excited to partner with Skillshare for this video. If you didn't know, Skillshare has classes that are taught by world-class professional illustrators, renowned graphic designers, successful entrepreneurs. I learned so much. It's the best place to learn a skill from scratch, rekindle a creative passion, or level up in your career. Regardless of the class or classes you choose, and trust me, there is a wide catalog of classes to pick from. And don't worry, the classes are so well categorized and easy to navigate. One thing I just love about Skillshare classes is that they are so well structured and the production is amazing. Classes are designed so you can easily learn at your own pace. Since I'm in the dark days of winter here in Canada, it's very cold in the garage, I joined Kat Campbell's class, Learn How to Crochet for Absolute Beginners. That's me. I love how she breaks every step down, highlighting exactly what tools you need and step-by-step instructional close-ups. Since I'm a visual learner, this is extremely helpful for me. I am getting the hang of crocheting, and with some more practice, I know I'll be able to make a gorgeous scarf. I bought 3 things of yarn. I got me some goals.
So start your year off with intention and learn something new. The first 500 people to use my link in the description, right here, or you can scan the QR code I've got on screen right here, will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So no excuses, get started today. Thanks so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video.
Espresso cup, so just a little guy here, and inside, so the same combo. So on the top is kimchi with a band of, you can see it a bit better there. So kimchi, shallot, and Louisiana Bayou with a slight overlap. The kimchi is a runner, so it's going to definitely run over. So if you have big, dry, drippy bits, you're going to want to make sure you kind of shave them down or you're going to get a lot of runoff. So that's a cute little espresso cup. And the inside was actually, I think I just did kimchi on the inside. 2 good coats of kimchi on the inside. So that would be like a double espresso cup. I think I have some singles and some doubles. Oh, that's good. Oh, that turned out good. A little bit of grinding there, went down a little far. So again, because I knew I was playing with some glazes, that it was potential to run, and it did, but it did heal. There was a bit of a crack in the bottom. You can still kind of see it there. Anyways, I was also playing with, I've had them for so long and I just haven't used them. But this, my friends, is the dark brown engobe from Mayco. So I did about halfway up in a sort of a wavy pattern with the engobe. And then I use Boogie Pink. And on the very rim, I decided last minute, and that's probably why I got the extra drips here, I did a band of soft red. So both of those are spectrum. Soft red is a runner. Boogie Pink will move, so the combination of the two, that's why I got these amazingly glorious glaze drips. But because, now it's okay, you know what? I'm going to grind them down because I do have a foot here. So that's gonna remove the engobe from the actual foot ring, but I'll still have engobe on my ring and then coming down. So it's more of a single shot espresso, which, you know, most people will do a single shot. Inside is flux, or a river, not river birch, honey flux on the inside. Super cute. And this guy is another one I did with the engobe in the dark brown, halfway. And this was Flux Blossom and a hefty coat of what is it called now? Amaryllis. So you're getting some little bit of a speckling. And I did the Flux Blossom on the inside. Probably could have done another coat on the floor of this, but I still think that's cute. It'll be good. I might actually refire this one. I might add some more glaze and see if I can get a little bit more drips. I might add some more Flux Blossom to this one and throw it right back in the kiln. 3 more in here. Okay, let's try that again. Texture topaz on the top, which it gives this interesting kind of, there's a bit of green in it. It's a greeny brown and it is a mover. And then the bottom is actually honey flux. And then I did river birch, and then I did a band of light flux. And where the honey flux is light, you get this kind of blue, which is, I think, quite glorious. I quite like the way it happens on this slightly darker clay. We'll see. I may try to refire that. It's already got a crack in the bottom. I'm probably not. I'm just going to use that as a test. Whoopsie, a test tile. So this guy here and this guy, okay, perfect. So this one here is very small, but I've got another piece in the same glaze combo. So pretty. Oh gosh. So this again is on the rim is the Twilight down to about here, and then this is honey flux going from about there down times like 2, maybe even 3 heavy coats, and it pulls the Twilight. And Twilight's kind of like a black, or not black, it's not black. It's like a really dark gray blue. It's an interesting color on its own, but you get these gorgeous blue hues when you pull it through. So yes, please. I think that's really pretty. And on the bottom, that is just the dark brown engobe that I used. And I'm gonna definitely be playing with this on some mugs, larger mugs as well, because I think that's quite nice. A nice set of that will be quite special. Very nice, very nice. And then this one is a larger guy. And this was, I don't know, I think this was ginger and something. I think it was, oh no, this was just ginger. That's right, I wanted to see how just ginger with the dark engobe, and if I would get this, which I did. Look at that. Oh God, you got to love drips. Oh my word. Like, look at the profile on that. There is an actual profile. Unbelievable. Test out. Let's see how my espresso cups do. You always want to try that out, right? See how that goes. I do like it, but I am going to refire. I'm going to have more glaze and refire. Like little espresso cups. I'm making lots more. So some other things in here that I've been playing with. All right, black engobe, and I didn't bother putting it on the bottom. I deliberately just wanted to see how that played out. So black engobe, you can see the wavy pattern through it. And then this is actually, I'm surprised, I was very cautious because I was a little bit afraid. So this is the, oh, I forgot to look what it is. Anyways, I'll put it right here, what the color is. It is a jungle gem, and I was playing around with it. I wanted to see, and then I decided last minute to do a band here and a band here of light flux, because I wanted to make sure it was going to move, because I did play around with this a little bit over the Christmas time, and I could not remember if I did light flux or not, but you're able to get that nice drip. So I plan on experimenting a little bit more with this glaze because I quite like it. And then I just did shallot on the inside, and then you can see even some of the specks because I did run a little bit of the whatever this is, ink spot. It's called ink spot. That's it. So ink spot on top of the shallot, which I kind of like too. So got some ideas with that, but I definitely like it when the specks are, or the crystals are quite heavy. So I have another one in here somewhere. I think it's on the other shelf, but I think I like that a lot. So having color then on the inside instead of always on the outside. This guy warped, but you know what, people, I've had warped ones and they don't seem to mind. So it's when you know what, regardless, even though I re-round them, I find that they still will, they've got the memory. So when I squish it on the wheel and then I re-round the top, and then usually I go back the next day and re-round it again. If you didn't know, clay has memory. Yeah, it still went oval. But you know what? You can still have a glass of wine out of this. And again, same thing, eggplant times 2. Oh, my battery's flashing here. Eggplant times 2, and then river birch times 2, and honey flux times 1 all over. You can see where the honey flux is on the thinner side. Okay, let's move on. Gotta keep one eye on the camera. So that is the same as the little guy. So again, is that not gorgeous? Come on. So nice if you want something a little bit darker. So again, this here now, oh, you know what? I lied. That little espresso cup is not. Okay, these are the same. And I've done this combination for a client on a different clay body. And anyways, I was playing around with it on white clay. I've never done it on just white clay. So the top is actually tuxedo to about here. Not top and, what did I say? Twilight, not twilight. This is tuxedo, which is a stroke and coat by Mayco. And I just squirt it on like, and then I rub it in, or I'll take a brush and I just, so it's quite heavy, the equivalent of like 3, maybe 4 heavy coats of it in a very wonky application across the entire top and rim. and then it is honey flux, and that's it. So honey flux times 2, and then I did a third honey flux, and then that's what you get. That's what it is. And on the inside, that was soft white. I did soft white up to where the tuxedo stroke and coat met. So quite gorge. Hopefully the camera's not gonna cut out on me. This is a throwback to something I used to do and I haven't done for a hot second, but it's that time of year. Again, like I said, at least here in Canada, it's like we're over all the dark and winter because, you know, the days are getting dark too soon. So I did really heavy, about 3 coats of soft red at the top, Spectrum Soft Red, and then I did Flux Blossom times 3. So it was, I should say times 2, and then it was 1, sorry. Let's try that again. So it is soft red, which is Spectrum, times 3 very heavy coats up to here, okay? And then it's from here to here is 2 Flux Blossom, 1 River Birch. So you're getting some of that flecking because this clay is also on a speckled clay, but you can see you got some of the bigger flecking from the River Birch. And the inside was just pearl white or soft white. One or the other, I don't know which one, but that. And then I think I have another one of that inside the kiln. And this guy here is something I haven't done for a hot second as well. So it is 2 Flux Blossom, 1 Amaryllis, and then another of soft red. So it just lobs a soft red. On the inside, it is either pearl white or soft white. Or, actually, no, I can tell that's not either of those on the inside. That is white opal. I have it in a dipping and pouring, whatever, dipping format, and I poured it inside. So some mugs there. I'm gonna see if I can get another half charge battery from inside. I'll be right back. Okay. Woo! Another half charge battery. So I am getting very cold in here. I was dressed when the kiln was still kind of pushing off a little bit of warmth. And now the garage is quite cold. So, and I am not, again, dressed appropriately. It's 50 degrees in the kiln, so the garage is probably around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And my fingers are starting to wrinkle up because they're cold. Last shelf, okay, here is my cone pack. So on that shelf, we're looking cone 5, cone 6, definitely. So I'm hitting cone 6. So this is something, again, for you guys that are, I get asked the question so much. And though, like I said, my top temperature was 2200 on this kiln, which is not, when you look at cone 6 as a temperature, that is usually 2232, and I said, and I fire to 2200, so 32 degrees Fahrenheit below what would be typically a cone 6. When you're using your cone packs are the only way for you to truly understand what temperature or heat work your pieces got. So though my kiln only got up to 2200 degrees, I did a 5-minute hold at the top temperature there. It created enough heat work to bend my cone 6 down, so I got a cone 6. So it doesn't matter what the temperature is, but because heat work is heat work over time, it was able to bend, meaning my work got my cone 6. So you're able to pull out some of those drips. And that's what I'm after. Now you can do it at, I could get a cone 6, maybe at even a lower temperature with a longer hold, or just go right up to 2232 and then, you know, drop it as well. You might still get a cone 6 or even hotter. So you can see my cone 7 began to bend. So absolutely I got my cone 6. So I'm actually, I'm very happy with this firing because I was shooting for that. Now, I usually shoot for 5.5, which I have been doing, but I'm experimenting because I have got some things where I'm using like the copper float and like you saw me with some of those crystal glazes, and I'm still not getting a lot of that crystal stuff. Oh, I forgot to bring you in. Huh, how rude of me, right? Come come on, you've come to expect this. So let me bring you a little, get you a little closer there. Okay. I wish this would warm up my hands because they're cold. Okay, guys, you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I always give it a little twist to make sure my kiln supports, or my shelves, my oh, you saw it before I did. Okay. Oh, that looks great. Okay, I'm happy. Nothing fell over. I'm very happy. I have everything up on stilts pretty much in this kiln load because I was, I have a lot of things that were dripping and some experiments that I know I was playing with some drippy glazes. And if you're playing with drippy glazes, you've got to be, you know, prepared that the glaze could drip off, and it's much easier to grind it smooth than when it seeps under a cookie and then fuses to the cookie. Then you end up with a bigger mess. Okie dokie. So we'll do, since we talked about cones, pretty much exact reading, same reading. This is my next shelf. So it looks about the same as my other shelf. Where did I just put the cone pack? So you can see them. And that's what you want from your kiln. You know, if from shelf to shelf, you're getting pretty much the same exact reading, that's a good sign. You know, and that's because then you know that all of your elements are working, your thermocouples are working. My kiln has 3 thermocouples, so it really does help maintain a nice even balance throughout the kiln. But cones are, again, they're not always used. And even on the first shelf, here's my first shelf, so it too was exactly the same. But yeah, a lot of times people don't use them, and there were a few kiln firings this past holiday season that I did not use it because, you know, I was in panic mode. Okay, same as the other guy. So on a cute, this one turned out better. I probably was a little heavier handed with my light flux. I did open a new bottle, so I think the other one was has been watered down a little bit. So I prefer it with these drips. And again, the same thing on the inside with shallot on the inside. So that is the Black Ondo by Mayco, shallot by Spectrum, and Ink Spot and Light Flux, both by Mayco as well. So this is an experiment, and it didn't quite work. Okay, so I'm gonna refire these. It started to work, but didn't quite. See, oh, so that works. Okay. See this one. I did 2 of these. Some of them did. Okay, I'm getting ready for Valentine's. So, yeah, it's around the corner. I know. You see, when you're dealing with retail and stuff, you've got to kind of get ahead of the game. So I did my hearts. So I did Flux Blossom times 2 all over. And then I did hearts. I painted them on just randomly using Firebrick Red. And then I went back over and I added some hot tamale, which is a stroke and coat on top. Just not the entire top of the heart, but more of like the higher part of it. I wanted them to run. Some did, some didn't. And that's probably where I think if I do this again, I probably will. See how that was what I was after. I was after that elongated, very drippy effect like that. So definitely heavier on the Flux Blossom, whereas where I went light with the Flux Blossom, my hearts were a little bit more, less blurred. I wanted the runs. I wanted that drippy and blurred effect. But you know what? We'll see. I'll put them in my store. I definitely didn't count my, oh, I see what happened. One is on speckle clay and one is not. I couldn't tell. I know I was using both and I couldn't. This Tuckers speckled and their smooth white look exactly the same at this firing. Sometimes you look carefully, you can see a few specks, but you know, you're just still never entirely certain. Anywho, clearly I picked 2 that were, one was speckled, one wasn't. Anyways, it's a good test at the same time, but I've got some plans for this. I may even add some gold. I've got a plan for this one. Okay, another one of that lovely purple, again, glazing, trying out the eggplant and the river birch. Honey Flux combo, which is again quite nice. Same. Oops. And this, I'm undecided about this one. I don't know. I don't think I like it. Well, maybe. Looking at it on camera, I'm not sure. So again, the ink spot. So I was playing with the ink spot on the bottom, and then I did the shallot on the top. So shallot or shallot is spectrum, and that would be two very, or when I glaze, I'm a heavy glazer, so 2 usually is fine. If you're a light glazer, you might need to do 3 or even 4 coats, but that shallot on the top and the bottom was the ink spot. The inside looks like I did ginger on the light clay. And I say that because I can tell from my little swirl there on the bottom. And I always like my inner and my outer glazes to somehow blend together. Oh, warm up, Sarah. It's so cold. Okay, this is another one. Okay, yep, that's another one. That's of the black on top, which was tuxedo, around to about here, very heavy, and then Honey Flux times 3. So I want to say 2 and then 3. Just a slight dial back. You can see it's a little thinner at the bottom, and I make sure it doesn't run off because I knew I was going to get that movement. Oh, look at that drip. See, this is why you need to raise things up when you're using runny glazes. Oh, look at that. Boop. That's going to be ground off. Again, handles are like an expressway for your glazes. If you didn't know, and you're using glazes and you're using runny things, they really like to accelerate off that handle. So be mindful if you're seeing a lot of like drips in your glaze when it's dry. Try to, like, you know, shave it back a little bit. There's a little pinhole on the outside there. I don't think I'm going to refire this because it'll run too much at that point. But it's not sharp. And I think it kind of adds to the effect of this actually, so I might just leave it. So again, kimchi, shallot, and Louisiana Bayou down at the bottom on the dark clay, and kimchi on the inside. A couple of soap bottles. I still actually glue in my threads and have my metal pumps that I put on top. So I just throw it with a little flange and it holds my threads right. I glue them in and it holds them on pretty good. So this is sangria at the bottom, and I did sangria and I did the Honey Flux and River Birch on top. So I want to say I always do 2 River Birch, 1 Honey Flux because I like more of the specks and it's on the dark clay. And then this is the blue again, blue, the Louisiana Bayou, shallot, and kimchi. Okay, playing around. Oh, okay. That actually turned out pretty interesting. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go. I have another one that's needing to go. Oh, look, I'm gonna show you what it looked like because I have another one that didn't make it in. These were glazed exactly the same. So this one's slightly smaller. This was a little bit too tall to make in this kiln load. So this is what it looked like before it went in. So if you see this, it was all the way up here. That's the same one that went all the way down. So it ran really far. Now, what I did on the top here was the ink spot, and that's what ink spot looks like when you brush it on. You don't know it's gonna do all this black stuff, the black speckles. So this is ink spot at the top. And then I did it was about from here to here. You can kind of see where the texture is. From here to here was Blue Midnight by AMACO times 2. Times 3 here. Then this blue, you don't even see it. So you don't even need to because I went so heavy with it, it ran over. This is Turquoise Lake here. And then in here, I did snow. So I don't think you even see the snow. Snow. Oh, and snow right there. I was hoping to get to see some of it in this glaze. You could see a little bit right there at the very bottom there, shiny. But it's hard to tell, I think, on camera. And then the very bottom, I dipped here. I went, boop, and it kind of overlapped the snow. In Tuckers, they're white, and their white is incredibly stable. It's like, it doesn't budge. So I did that as almost to act like brakes and to prevent the glaze from running and dripping right off. And it actually worked because it came right down and it didn't surpass, so there's no grinding needed. But you can see that dark blue of the blue midnight. The black is just literally the like these at the top, they ran in because there's some of the snow moving in and blending in with the blue midnight, which when you put blue midnight on thin, it looks black, and you only get that blue when it's a little bit thicker. And then the bottom is, you can see where it's shiny, and then it kind of, you get some of the specks because this clay is a speckled clay. So this is going to just be a little oil bottle. So I've got the little things, a small one beside the stove, which is quite fun. This is another one. So same with the pink and that. So clearly this one and the first one I pulled out did not get as much of the light flux, but I still think it looks good. And I think next time I'll bring the black up higher, because I don't mind that little gray. I think it would have been nice to bring this down farther and have the black up a bit higher, and it would have given a nice gradual effect. But it definitely is not overly runny, the ink spot. So that is good to know. I'm always trying to remember what moves, what doesn't move, and so on and so forth. So this is, I've already shown one of this combo as well. Hadn't done it for a bit. Flex Blossom times 2, Amaryllis times 1, very heavy, and then blobs of the soft red. And that's what you get when you put Flex Blossom Light. It's got this kind of yellowy, peachy, orangey color. It's on a white clay, so that's what it looks like when it's thin. When it's thicker, you start to get this milky white. So I was being extra cautious for some reason, or maybe I missed one of my coats when I was glazing, because again, it happens sometimes. And then that was actually a white opal that I poured on the inside. I'm testing it out because when I mixed up, it's in a, like I said, a dry. I bought the dry format and was mixing it up, and I, still playing with things. I didn't do a whole heck of a lot of testing, so I'm like cautious with how much I use it on to make sure I've got it at the right, like the right specific gravity. I want that, make sure I get the right thickness of the glaze. So then this is that other combo again I was using. I got, see, right off the handle, another big drip. So these will be ground down, but nice mugs. I do like that. So I could have done better with my applicator. Oh, I'm gonna have to refire. I did not. I clearly missed my coats. Yeah, okay, so we gotta go back in. Wow, okay, Sarah, so otherwise it's actually pretty good. So it was sangria on the bottom. So sangria, I thought I did 2 heavy ones, but clearly it's really not blended. And then it was the River Birch and Flux Blossom. So I did Flux Blossom times 2 River Birch. So yeah, well, anyways, we're gonna reglaze and get them back in the kiln. Oh, that turned out really nice. Oh, I like that. It was quite gorgeous. And that is the sister. So nice. Yeah, so I was playing around. These are sisters, not twins. So, okay. Can you guess? Come on, guess. I'll wait. Okay, so I have the lunar pink and I have the floating lavender. Both are AMACO glazes, and I played with them a little bit. So on the inside, Flux Blossom times 2. See, you get that lovely blush pink color when you do it. I mean, some of you guys get that with Honey Flux. I don't get it with Honey Flux at all. So anyways, that is a Flux Blossom on the inside, and then I did Flux Blossom on the outside. So it was inside and outside times 2. And then I did a band of the lunar pink. This is so soft. I hope it picks up on camera. It's hard on this monitor. I don't know if it's picking up enough. It is so gorgeous. That is so delicate. And then this one is the the floating lavender. lunar pink, floating lavender, and then I did a coat of a river birch over up to here. Didn't do as much of the river birch because these are both on the white clay, but I didn't do very much river birch, or I didn't get a lot of the bigger crystals, whereas that one got a bigger crystal. I think that is quite spectacular. I like those. Okay, so I will be playing with this more. You kind of got to do that, right? Test out a couple of pieces and see how it works for you, and if you like it, and you know, you tweak it, you do whatever you got to do in order to make it work for yourself. And I know that when I'm teaching, people ask questions like, well, how do you know? Trial and error, and you know, testing things out before you go like absolutely crazy. Oh, I got something from a kiln that came out not too long ago, and I'm curious what y'all think. So these are both fails, but I do love this combo. Like, I think this is quite gorgeous. I'll show you what the fail is, and it's sad because I did do it on a few things, but it's so nice. So bottom is the Holly Green by Spectrum. 3 coats. My hands are like ice right now. 3 coats, and then I do a band here, 2 very heavy coats of cactus, and then on the top here was the honey flux and river birch, and then the inside was I poured in the opal white, or white opal by Mayco. And I think that I'm not a green person, but this is a combo I could do, and I enjoy it very much. And you're probably going, what's wrong with it, Sarah? What is wrong with it? I'm gonna show you what's wrong with this. My handle's cracked. And then I tried fixing them. So again, I was talking about this. I don't know if it's because the furnace is on or what. So I was playing around and my handles had cracked here, right? And here, and I don't have this problem. I tried out those hand extruders, like the diamond core hand extruders, and I don't know why, but when I use my regular extruder, I don't have this issue. But I've had this happen quite a bit with the actual hand, like I don't know if it's because it's thicker, whatever. Anyways, I gotta figure it out. So anyways, it cracked here. So I don't know if you all saw it on Instagram. I wish I remember the lady's name. She's a little Asian lady. She's in Hamilton. She's here in Canada, just out of Hamilton. And so she was talking. She's very cute, and she was talking about when you have an S crack or a crack, you can use calcined EPK. And I was like, oh, okay. What the hell is calcined EPK? So I had to go look it up, and I found out what it is. And you can actually buy it from the Pottery Supply. You can actually buy calcined EPK. So, okay, I'm gonna put that on the camera. Calcined EPK, which it's kaolin, so calcined kaolin clay. And calcined just means it's already been fired. And so I thought, I have some EPK in my studio, so guess what? I'm gonna try and I'm gonna bisque fire it. So I did. I bisque fired. I took a bowl. I think someone else did it too on Instagram, and I was like, okay, I can do that. I wish I could remember, because I guess once you start one, then it shows up in your algorithm, and you're like, you know, anyways, I don't know who it was. So I did it. So I got a bowl. I filled it up with some of the EPK, which is the powder. And then I just put it in my bisque fire. And so it got fired. And the premise is that now it has already shrunk. And so therefore it won't shrink again, right? Like, or it's not going to shrink like, it's going to shrink at the same rate as when you're going to glaze it. So you're able to fix it, something to that effect. Anywho, I tried it. I've had some very marginal success with some things, like little things that are, you know, but not a lot. So I think I might give up. Any of you know and are watching and have, like, down below, let me know how you use it. Maybe I'm just, you know, not doing it right, but I have been taking it and I like been putting it in, and and I should say this, sometimes if I go back and here, hang on, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be right back. I'm back. Okay, so same thing happened to this bowl, okay? And so basically what happened is I had a hairline crack. So I had a hairline crack here, and I had one cat hair right there. Okay, so one right there. Went right through. So when it came out of the bisque fire, actually, because I should say, it cracked when it was drying, and I was like, oh. And I was trying to fix it, and then I saw that video, so I was like, okay, let me bisque fire. So I bisque fired it, and then I filled it with some of this EPK, and then I put the glaze on, because that's what she says. You can just put the glaze on. I put the glaze on, and then the glaze did this. It just completely repelled. It like crawled away wherever that fix was. Now maybe there was too much of the dust still left on it, because I put it on with a wet brush, and I was trying to push it down into the crack, but it's like the glaze completely crawled away from where I was trying to fix it. It was like everything about this pot was beautiful. It glazed, fired beautifully, but like all here and all here, there were like the glaze completely repelled. It was just raw clay there, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So I put more glaze on. I think I added a bit more to the little crack. Put more of the glaze on. I put a few more just to make sure all along the rim. I added more of the twilight. This was twilight along the rim. Refired it. Now I can't refire it again because look at what happened. So it's too thick now. I got all of this like bubbles in it, and it actually started to bloat. So if you ever, these are all different things. See here? These are, it's the clay is not happy. So you see there? There. Oh, that's better. You can see that. So it's almost like, they feel like mosquito bites. So that it literally bloated up. So garbage right now, done. And so I can't refire it. It's just going to happen again. If I didn't have that bloating, I would try refiring just to see if I could smooth that out. But the glazes is getting now too thick here. So that probably would happen again, but it's just the things that happen, right? Is trial and error, and you learn. Even though things fail and you're like, that hurt, you learn from it, and that's it. We here on the YouTube community, the ones that are out here sharing, that we're sharing the things that we do and the things that go wrong, and how we layer something. But you're still gonna have to test it out, because if you're firing at a community kiln, then you don't have the ability to change your firing schedule, because sometimes tweaking that firing schedule will give you the results you're looking for. And that's where I'm asking if anybody has a nice firing schedule for these crystalline glazes. So I've got, like I said, I think I've got the champagne, the white, I can't remember, the pearl, and the blue one. And I'm just reluctant to use them because so far when I have played with them, I'm not getting the results I want. But that's it. See, like you do something and then you're like completely bummed out and you're like, dang it. So I did some ornaments in it and they just look hideous. They were so, I don't think I have them out here. They were so dull. Do I have any? No. They were so dull and gross. I was like, oh. But trial and error. Anywho, with that said, I will be still playing with this combo because I think this is going to be perfect for spring, and even for some of the luck of the Irish. It's coming up, right? We've got that season coming. So I will be playing with this combo. It's not a complete failure. It just hurts when you have two that did that. Sucks. I'm telling you right now, it's the screening. It's this stuff. And if you haven't tried it, try it. And then I want you to comment below and tell me what you think. And if you've done it before and you know about this, tell me what you think in the comments below. So I will just give it a really light scrub. It will scratch your glaze if you're not careful. So I'm going to still keep it to the foot, but it'll leave your bottoms so smooth. You win some, you lose some. But honestly, I think overall this kiln load was like 2 thumbs up. My kiln fave, oh, that's gonna be hard. There's quite a few I really like. Kiln fave. All right, you gotta put your guess in. Think about it. What's your kiln fave? And then if your kiln fave is one of these, because there's a lot here that I like, and there's a lot here that I'm gonna work on, but number 1. That's my number 1 fave. I really like this. I think that is some kind of special right there. Just drinking your coffee or a little hot toddy in there. And this is the other one. So look at that. I am a duality. I'm just like all over the place. I like so many different things, but I think those 2 are my fave. Yeah. I like the specs though too. So anywho, let me know what you think of the video, and I'm so glad you came into my home again here in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, and spent a little bit of time with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm not gonna make any promises like I did last year, but I'm hoping to see you again soon. Until next time.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free. Come on now. Who doesn't like free? And don't forget to like it. It means the world to me. And while you're at it, don't be shy. Leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.